Hey guys, a quick update. Still working on the Triumph. Um, got all the oil disconnected. Oil lines are disconnected. I'm gonna pull the engine out just to clean a lot of that goop out, and then clean the engine up. Um, Service the swing arm. It's all fresh grease. The bearings didn't look bad. Everything looked fine. Cleaned up the shocks. They were all crappy looking. I took them apart, painted the springs because they were rusty, and just assembled the back end so I could take the engine out. So I could soak the frame with degreaser and, keep going on this until I get it running. I'm hoping to get it running soon. And gotta get, I still gotta deal with that carburetor. I got another carburetor, but it's smaller than what's supposed to go in there. But I'm hoping it'll run on that particular type of carburetor. And my jumpers. There was no oil in the transmission when I drained it. It was just, see, I don't know if you can tell the bits of water there. That's all that came out. I still have to drain the primary. I pretty much drained everything out of the frame. This is an in-frame oil. And it comes through the bottom into that pipe, and then it scavenges it back out of this side. You can see the two pipes, scavenges it, and then it runs back up into the frame right there, dumps it back in the frame. And believe it or not, the whole idea of that is to actually cool the oil up there, and then it even has a drain back here. So this whole thing is filled with oil. Good in practice, but this thing blows up, all that junk goes in here. And sometimes it's big pieces and it doesn't come out of that little plug. That's a problem. And not all of it goes down this down tube either. So you'll have junk. You can get out the small bits, but the bigger bits stay. Other than that, that's kind of what's going on with this guy. Pretty much had the front end apart, cleaned the wheels a little, took the forks out, cleaned them, bent the fender back a little bit, and just stuff like that. Picked up a toolbox yesterday for $40. Not bad. I think I'm going to put bigger wheels on it. It's a little too low. I'm going to put some bigger wheels on that. So, and I also picked up that parts washer, which I got to figure out what's going on with that. It's missing some parts, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. The other project I just got was this 2002 Yamaha 426. It has very low hours on it, but due to sitting around, I'm going to have to pull a carb out, clean it, figure out why. It just drains out as soon as you open the petcock. The fuel just comes right back out, and it won't start. So that's a future project that I'll do, which is kind of fun. KTM is kind of stalled out waiting on gaskets. I still have to take it all apart, get the frame to the sandblaster, and sandblast the frame. And I'm still thinking of going with either a KTM orange and going with white fenders. And the KTMs are so milk toast these years. They were 94s were, when you look at them, they just had hideous graphics, purple and pink graphics. They were just hideous. So I'm gonna do a few custom mods on it just to make it pop a little better. They went with that ugly silver frame, and all the parts are still waiting, cleaned up there. That's a 125 Kagiva engine. Missing the piston, and I think they got the cylinder top somewhere. And the old Bultaco still in a holding pattern. The other thing that's going on is I finally got the Zundab gas tank cleaned. So that's all. That little gas tank's coming off. And we'll put the big gas tank on. I still have to get this thing up on the stand and pull the front forks apart. Something's going on. It just stops. It doesn't. There's no spring to it. It just bang, just stops. I'm not sure why it's doing it. Here's another project. My mom, it's an end table that she wants me to put together. What else is going on? Oh, kind of cool things. Picked up vulcanizers. These are called vulcanizers. What they are is when you're patching your tire, this squeezes the inner tube patched onto the inner tube. Very important thing back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. So, yeah, a temperature gauge I picked up. That's for if you're checking in exhaust temperatures on your motorcycle, this is a valuable tool. It's kind of neat. There's the tip of it, and it tells you instantly what temperature your exhaust is at. It's kind of a neat tool. Not much else going on. Just your old regular stuff. Got the Harley running really good. What it was the stator plate was loose, causing it to run erratically. And put some Loctite on the stator plate screws, put it back together. This thing starts easy, runs nice. Once it's warmed up, initially it'll kind of force stroke on you a little bit. But once it's warmed up, I had it up to 70 miles an hour. Stupid, but kind of cool. Other than that, and then the poor old Honda, I'm down to getting a new carburetor. Unfortunately, nobody makes the OME carburetor, so you got to find something that's as close as you can. They do make it. They're all sourced out of China. I'm not real thrilled about buying Chinese garbage. I put new parts in it. I got a new float in it. It still leaks fuel out, and just a myriad of little things. But it does run. It does run good. It runs really good once it's running, and I don't need to. Just need to get that carburetor straightened out, and it'll be a daily driver, hopefully, one day. And then the Saab, my Saab story again. I'm going to have to pull the fuel oil injection canister out, which is in here. That's the fuel oil, or the premix canister. I gotta pull that out and clean it and change the hose because the hose is finally leaking. It's a 50-year-old hose. So the other thing I have to repair is that slave cylinder for a clutch. It's, you see the drippies there? It's piston's leaking. So that's going to be a future project also. The only other problem I'm having with this is the doggone, either I'm going to have to put a new fuel pump in, and I think that might be what's going on, because at idle, it just doesn't want to idle. It does great up in the upper RPMs, but when you come to a stop, it just will not idle, and I'm not sure why. And I'm going to take there's these plugs here, right there. There's a screen in there, and I'm going to just check those screens and see if that's an issue. Because I had all the carbs out, cleaned everything. Still a problem. I didn't take the screens out. But I didn't see anything crazy in there. So it's got a new at first I thought it was the battery, maybe, because it's getting low. It's not charging. And it wasn't that. And I put a new fuel line all the way to the back. What the? Oh. I put a new fuel line all the way to the back. It was leaking in the car. So these braided fuel lines are just failing right now, and I just need to change to new stuff. And that's about it. Other than that, I'd love to be able to drive this car daily, but it hasn't been very dependable. It starts and it runs, but it just doesn't idle, and it's kind of a pain when you come to an intersection and the dang thing stops. And two-strokes are weird because this one is, because it seems it's harder to start. But there's the old fuel pump there, and I think that's what I'm going to change next. So I'm looking for an old, faucet fuel pump. They have the other aftermarket ones, but I don't know. I've put those on before, and brand new don't work. So I'm kind of at that stage now where I just don't trust that brand. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. Oh, did I show you these bikes yet? This is a Cagiva I picked up. They're an Italian-made bike. This was a time where they have the I don't know if they have the little elephant, and that was the same time they owned Ducati. This company owned Ducati, so I don't know, somewhere there's like a little elephant, and it was the same years that they had the Ducatis, and they were kind of an interesting bike. Not many sold in America, but interesting, fun. This one does run. It just needs some tidying up, some new paint. Maybe I'm going to do a little bit of customizing, throw some new fenders at it. Has a new seat cover. And other than that, not much else going on. It does have a hydraulic front disc brake that needs repair, which is a lot of people, front brakes are a mystery. Other than that, I think it's going to be a fun project. I'm still trying to source a front number plate for this one, but it's going to be neat. When I go out to Astalon, I think it's going to be a hoot to have it out there. Okay. And that's about it. Not anything else cool to show you.